You are bleeding money every single time you pull up to a gas station, and the industry is perfectly fine with that. While you are watching the numbers climb on the pump, you are likely falling for traps that make your car consume more fuel than necessary, padding the pockets of oil companies while draining your bank account. It is time to stop the hemorrhage by reframing how you view your vehicle not as a hungry machine, but as a precision instrument that is currently out of tune. By mastering these 17 insider secrets, you can squeeze every possible mile out of every drop of fuel, effectively giving yourself a permanent discount at the pump, regardless of what the sign says. Pay close attention, because the number one tip on this list is a psychological shift that veteran hypermilers use to cut their fuel bills by 30%, yet it is almost never discussed in owner manuals. Secret 17. Buy gas at cooler temperatures. You might notice that gas station prices stay the same all day, but the actual energy density of the fuel does not. When fuel is sitting in underground tanks or passing through the pump, during the scorching heat of a North American afternoon, it expands, meaning you are technically getting less energy per gallon than you would during the crisp morning hours. To beat this thermal expansion, make it a habit to refuel early in the morning or late at night when the ground is coldest and the fuel is at its most dense state. This simple timing shift ensures you are pumping actual liquid power rather than expanded vapors, giving you a fractional but consistent edge on every single tank. This does not require a single cent of investment, just a change in your scheduling to ensure you are getting the maximum bang for your buck before the sun starts stealing your mileage. If you think timing is everything, wait until you see how the way you hold the handle changes the game. Secret 16. Pump slowly to reduce vapor loss. You have likely seen drivers squeezing the pump trigger to the maximum setting as if they are in a race to finish, but this impatience is literally evaporating your money. When you force fuel into your tank at high pressure, it creates excessive agitation and turbulence, which converts a portion of that expensive liquid into volatile vapors that are immediately sucked back into the gas station's recovery system. To fix this, look for the little notch on the pump handle and set it to the lowest possible flow rate, allowing the fuel to enter your tank in a steady, calm stream with minimal splashing. This slower pace prevents the burping effect that triggers the nozzle to shut off early and ensures that every drop you pay for actually stays in your tank as liquid fuel. While it might take an extra minute of your time, the physical density of a slow-filled tank is measurably higher than one filled in a frantic rush. If you are worried about looking strange at the pump, just remember that the person next to you is paying for the fumes you are keeping. Once you have mastered the pump handle, you need to know exactly which button to press on the screen to avoid a massive upcharge. Secret 15. Don't buy more octane than engine requires. You have likely been tempted by the flashy premium or super labels at the pump, thinking that the higher price tag translates to a cleaner engine or better performance for your daily driver. The reality is that higher octane is simply a measurement of a fuel's resistance to pre-ignition, and if your car's manual specifies 87 octane, pumping 91 or 93 is essentially like throwing a $5 bill into a paper shredder every time you fill up. To stop this waste, check the inside of your fuel door or your owner's manual for the manufacturer's requirement. If it says regular recommended, stick to the cheap stuff and ignore the marketing fluff. Unless you are driving a high-compression performance vehicle or a turbocharged engine that explicitly demands it, your car's computer will not magically grant you more power or better mileage just because the gas was more expensive. This one decision can save you 40 cents to $1 per gallon instantly without changing a single driving habit. While you are saving money on the grade of fuel, make sure you aren't literally spilling it by trying to squeeze in those last few drops. Secret 14. Avoid topping off the tank. You have probably felt the urge to squeeze the trigger a few more times after the pump clicks, trying to round up to the nearest dollar or pack in every possible drop. This common habit is actually a silent killer for your car's emissions system because modern vehicles use a charcoal canister to capture fuel vapors, and liquid gasoline from overfilling can flood and ruin this expensive component. To prevent a $500 repair bill and wasted fuel, simply stop pumping the moment the nozzle clicks off the first time. allowing the necessary air pocket to remain at the top of your tank. This ensures that your car's vapor recovery system functions perfectly, keeping your fuel where it belongs instead of venting it out or damaging sensitive sensors. It might feel like you are leaving money on the table, but you are actually protecting the very system that manages your mileage. Once your tank is properly filled and sealed, the next major drain on your wallet isn't even inside the engine. It is touching the pavement. If you are liking these fuel-saving secrets, subscribe to the channel right now to make sure you never miss an insider tip. Secret 13. Check and maintain tire pressure weekly. You have likely walked past your car 1,000 times without noticing that your tires look just a little soft. But that subtle sag is a silent anchor on your fuel economy. When your tires are underinflated, the surface area touching the road increases, creating massive rolling resistance that your engine has to burn extra gas just to overcome. To fix this, buy a cheap digital pressure gauge and check your PSI every Sunday morning before you drive. Always inflate them to the specific number found on the sticker inside your driver's side door jamb, not the maximum pressure listed on the tire sidewall itself. Keeping your tires at the optimal manufacturer spec can boost your mileage by up to 3% instantly, which adds up to hundreds of dollars in savings over the course of a year. It takes less than 5 minutes and requires no mechanical skill, yet it is the single most ignored maintenance task in North America. Once your tires are rolling with minimal resistance, it is time to look at how your right foot is fighting against your own progress. Secret 12. Accelerate smoothly. The 5-second rule. You have likely seen drivers launch from a green light as if they are qualifying for a drag race, only to meet them again at the very next red signal. This aggressive behavior forces your engine into high-load enrichment, dumping massive amounts of extra fuel into the cylinders just to overcome the initial inertia of your vehicle's weight. To fix this, adopt the 5-second rule. Count to 5 as you gently increase pressure on the pedal, aiming to reach 15 or 20 miles per hour in a smooth, linear progression. This keeps your transmission shifting early and prevents the high RPM surges that guzzle gas at twice the normal rate during city driving. You will notice that by the time you reach cruising speed, you have used significantly less energy than the driver next to you who is now slamming on their brakes. It might feel slow at first, but in a heavy North American commute, being the slowest off the line is the fastest way to save $500 a year. Once you have mastered the start, the next secret is knowing when to let the car take over the heavy lifting. Secret 11. Use cruise control on highways. You have likely felt your foot getting heavy during long stretches of open North American interstate, leading to those subtle, constant speed fluctuations that force your engine to work harder than necessary. When you manually adjust your throttle to maintain pace, you are often overcompensating for small inclines or wind resistance, which keeps your fuel injectors firing in an uneven and inefficient pattern. To fix this, engage your cruise control whenever the road is dry and traffic is light, allowing your car's computer to manage the throttle with precision that no human foot can match. This steady state of operation keeps the engine in its most efficient power band and can improve your highway fuel economy by up to 7% on long trips. It might feel like you are losing some control, but you are actually gaining a massive amount of mechanical efficiency by letting the machine do what it was designed for. Just remember that while the computer is great at maintaining speed, the actual number on your speedometer is the real silent killer of your gas mileage. Secret 10. Maintain a steady speed below 60 miles per hour. You have likely felt the aerodynamic roar of the wind hitting your windshield as you push your car to 75 or 80 miles per hour just to keep up with the flow of highway traffic. The physics of air resistance are brutal because drag increases with the square of your speed, meaning that every mile per hour over 60 is exponentially more expensive for your engine to maintain. To fix this, try to stay in the right-hand lane and set your cruise control between 55 and 60 miles per hour, which is the sweet spot for maximum aerodynamic efficiency in nearly every modern North American vehicle. This simple adjustment can improve your gas mileage by as much as 15% compared to high-speed driving, effectively putting money back into your pocket for every hour you spend on the road. It might take you 5 minutes longer to reach your destination, but you are trading those minutes for literal cash that stays in your bank account. Once you have mastered the air outside your car, it is time to look at the dead weight you are hauling around inside. Secret 9. Lighten the load. Remove unnecessary weight. You have likely used your trunk or back seat as a temporary storage unit for sports gear, heavy tools, or seasonal items that you only need once a year. This extra mass creates a constant parasitic drain on your fuel economy because every 100 pounds of weight you carry reduces your gas mileage by up to 2%, forcing your engine to work harder just to move from a standstill. To fix this, do a weekly sweep of your vehicle and remove everything that isn't essential for your current trip, keeping only your emergency kit and spare tire on board. This simple habit of decluttering ensures that your car's power-to-weight ratio stays optimized, which is especially critical in stop-and-go city traffic, where weight matters most. It might seem like those extra bags or boxes aren't doing much harm, but over 10,000 miles, that dead weight is costing you several full tanks of gas for no reason. Once you have trimmed the fat inside your car, it is time to look at how the wind is fighting you from the outside. Secret 8. Minimize aerodynamic drag. You have likely enjoyed the breeze of driving with your windows down on a warm afternoon, but at highway speeds, those open windows turn your car into a giant parachute. This creates massive air turbulence that forces your engine to burn significantly more fuel just to maintain your pace against the wind resistance. To fix this, keep your windows rolled up and use your vents or air conditioning when traveling over 45 miles per hour, as the aerodynamic savings far outweigh the small load the AC compressor puts on the engine. Additionally, remove any empty roof racks, bike carriers, or cargo boxes when they are not in use, because these external add-ons can destroy your fuel economy by up to 20% on the interstate. This simple aerodynamic cleanup ensures your car cuts through the air like a knife rather than a brick, saving you a noticeable amount of fuel on every long-distance trip. It might feel more natural to have the windows down, but your wallet will thank you for keeping the cabin sealed. Once you have streamlined the car itself, you need to look at the path you are choosing to drive. Secret 7. Plan routes to avoid stop and go. You have likely sat in a sea of brake lights during a heavy North American rush hour, watching your fuel gauge drop while your odometer barely moves. This constant cycle of braking and accelerating is the most expensive way to operate a vehicle, because every time you stop, you convert all that previously burned fuel energy into useless heat in your brake pads. To fix this, use your phone's navigation app to scout for fuel-efficient routes that prioritize steady speeds and fewer traffic signals, even if the total distance is slightly longer. By choosing a bypass or a perimeter road over a direct city center path, you keep your engine in its most efficient gear and avoid the high torque demands of repeated launches. This simple strategic planning can save you up to 20% on your daily commute costs without requiring you to change your vehicle or your schedule. It might seem counterintuitive to drive more miles to save gas, but the math of momentum proves that steady movement always wins. Once you have optimized your path, you need to ensure the heart of your machine isn't fighting internal friction. Secret 6. Use proper grade oil and keep engine tuned. You have likely ignored that small maintenance light on your dashboard or stretched your oil change interval by a few thousand miles, thinking it is just a suggestion from the dealership. This neglect causes internal engine friction to skyrocket as old, broken-down oil fails to lubricate the moving parts, forcing your engine to burn extra fuel just to overcome its own internal resistance. To fix this, always use the exact motor oil viscosity recommended in your manual, such as 5W20 or 0W20, and replace your air filter the moment it looks gray or clogged. Using the wrong grade of oil can drop your gas mileage by up to 2%, while a fresh air filter ensures your engine breathes easily without running a rich fuel mixture that wastes gas. This simple mechanical upkeep ensures your car operates at its peak thermal efficiency, saving you hundreds in fuel and preventing catastrophic engine wear. It might feel like an unnecessary expense today, but a clean engine is the only way to ensure your other saving habits actually work. Once your engine is breathing right, you need to know when to let it stop breathing entirely. Secret 5. Leverage stop-start system if present. You have likely felt a moment of hesitation or even a slight shudder when your engine suddenly cuts out at a red light, tempted to reach for the button that disables this feature forever. This automatic stop-start system is often viewed as a nuisance by North American drivers, but it is actually a precision-engineered tool designed to eliminate the most wasteful part of your commute idling. To fix your fuel consumption, leave this system engaged and learn to modulate your brake pedal pressure to allow the engine to rest during long light cycles or heavy congestion. This simple habit can improve your city fuel economy by up to 10% because an engine at rest burns exactly 0 gallons per hour, whereas an idling engine is simply a heater for the pavement. It might take a week to get used to the quiet at stoplights, but you are protecting your wallet from the silent drain of a running motor that isn't moving. Once you have embraced the technology under your hood, you need to apply that same logic to the moments when the car won't do it for you. Secret 4. Avoid unnecessary idling. You have likely sat in your driveway or a parking lot for 10 minutes with the engine running just to finish a phone call or wait for a friend to come outside. This common habit is a total vacuum for your bank account because an idling engine gets exactly 0 miles per gallon while still consuming roughly half a gallon of fuel every hour. To fix this, follow the 10-second rule. If you are going to be stopped for more than 10 seconds, unless you are in active traffic, turn the engine off entirely. Modern fuel-injected engines use a negligible amount of fuel to restart, meaning you start saving money the moment you click that ignition back to the off position. It might feel like you are wearing out your starter motor, but these components are built for thousands of cycles, while your fuel is a finite resource you are burning for no reason. Once you stop the bleed while standing still, you need to rethink how you cluster your movements to keep your engine in its happy place. Secret 3. Combine errands. Warm engine efficiency. You have likely spent your Saturdays driving back and forth across town, making several short trips from a cold start to the grocery store, the dry cleaners, and the gym. This fragmented driving is a massive fuel drain because your engine is most inefficient during the first few miles when it is struggling to reach its optimal operating temperature. To fix this, bundle all of your weekly tasks into one continuous loop, starting with the furthest destination first to allow the engine to warm up quickly and stay at its peak thermal efficiency for the rest of the journey. This simple logistical shift ensures that your fuel injection system isn't constantly running in a rich mode that dumps extra gas into the cylinders just to keep the car from stalling. It might take 10 minutes of planning on a Friday night, but you are effectively cutting your cold start fuel penalty by 75% every single week. Once your engine is running hot and efficiently, you need to make sure the fuel you are feeding it hasn't been sitting in a dirty tank for weeks. Secret 2. Monitor fuel quality and choose trusted stations. You have likely pulled into a generic, no-name station because the price on the sign was 2 cents cheaper, only to find your car idling roughly or feeling sluggish a few miles later. This cheap fuel often lacks the high-quality detergent additives found in top-tier certified gasoline, which leads to carbon buildup on your fuel injectors and intake valves over time. To fix this, look for the top-tier logo at the pump, a standard backed by major automakers, to ensure your engine stays clean and maintains its factory-rated fuel economy. By spending those extra 2 cents on quality detergents, you prevent the slow degradation of your MPG that occurs when deposits interfere with the perfect spray pattern of your fuel. It might feel like a marketing gimmick, but the long-term efficiency of a clean engine is worth far more than the pennies you save at a sketchy off-brand pump. Once you have the right fuel in the tank, the final step is the most powerful psychological shift you will ever make behind the wheel. Secret 1. Change driving mindset. You have likely spent years driving on autopilot, reacting to the car in front of you with a constant, stressful rhythm of gas brake that effectively sets your money on fire. This reactive driving style is the ultimate antagonist to your bank account because it ignores the massive amount of kinetic energy your vehicle already possesses, forcing the engine to recreate that momentum over and over again. To fix this, adopt a hypermiling mindset. Look a quarter mile down the road to anticipate red lights, lift off the throttle early to coast toward stops, and maintain a large gap so you can buffer traffic fluctuations without touching your brakes. By treating your brake pedal as a device that consumes money and your throttle as a precision tool, you can realistically boost your fuel economy by 30% or more without buying a single part. It might feel strange at first to let a gap grow in front of you, but you are successfully gaming a system designed to make you impatient and wasteful. Master this psychological shift, and you will become the most efficient driver on the road, regardless of what you drive. By implementing these 17 secrets, you are no longer a passive victim of fluctuating fuel prices. You are an insider who knows how to keep that cash in your own pocket. From the simple physics of morning refueling to the high-impact mastery of the hypermiling mindset, you now have a complete toolkit to outperform every other driver at the pump. Start today by clearing out your trunk and checking your tire pressure to see the immediate results on your next fill-up. If you liked the content, hit that subscribe button and give this video a like. Comment below with your car's year and model. Watch the recommended video on your screen right now for more money-saving hacks.